what's happened is that a fairly major debate has emerged here in the Bitcoin development community over a proposal by developer Peter Todd to remove the longstanding guardrails like op return limits. Now, those guardrails are meant to deter the blockchain's use for non-monetary data, often called spam. And Peter Todd argues that these limits are now meaningless because developers have found workarounds such as direct miner submissions and Bitcoin Core forks, making the restrictions effectively obsolete. And supporters see the proposed change here as being just an overdue cleanup that aligns Bitcoin with its current reality, while there are opponents. Notably, we have Jason Hughes from Ocean Mining, who warns that it could kill Bitcoin by opening the door to more spam, clogging the network, and eroding Bitcoin's identity as sound money. So he even called for mining pools to abandon Bitcoin Core if the change actually goes through. We have a quote here from him, Jason Hughes. He says, Bitcoin Core developers are about to merge a change that turns Bitcoin into a worthless altcoin, and no one seems to care to do anything about it.
Yeah, a bit of an exaggeration, maybe.
Okay. Well, on the other side, we have voices like Antoine Poinsot from Chaincoin Lab, and we also have Udi Wertheimer. He's the Taproot Wizards guy, and they're basically just saying that the concerns are overblown. Bitcoin's resilience isn't threatened by these relatively small relay policy changes, I guess you could call them. So that's the debate.
A classic Bitcoin debate where hardline maxi versus very minor change coming up. And the hardline maxis is my opinion. Hardline maxis always say we cannot do anything ever because it's like a threat to Bitcoin. So, you saw this in the Bitcoin Cash debate, block size. I think even these days it's more or less accepted. Probably it wouldn't have made a big deal if you raised the block size limit to 4 megabytes. People that are not hardcore maxis, I think a good amount of them would say probably wouldn't have ended up being a big deal. But for those kind of things, I think what you hit on is it's this feeling that it's now going to become a worthless altcoin because this is in the scripture of Bitcoin to remove this limit. Now, what this actually does and why I guess he's threatened by it or why he doesn't like it. I think a lot of the L2 type chains are looking to the BTC5 that I talked about a little bit earlier, are trying to use op return for storing some data. I think Citria is a project specifically that was mentioned that wants to use op return to store the proofs for their L2, and I assume they've been campaigning for something like this or one of the L2s if it wasn't Citria. So then this becomes the whole hardcore debate of no, Bitcoin shouldn't be used for programmability. It needs to be only for sound money, and having L2s is blasphemous. If we have an L2, that's total blasphemy on what we're trying to do. As a user, I don't think anyone's going to care. This will not impact or affect anybody actually using Bitcoin, and it just becomes this whole nerdy debate. And yeah, this is just the nature of governments of how are things decided, I guess, is a really still a big question where it's okay, you have these 4 or 5 maintainer guys, and this guy rallied, I don't know, however many people to downvote the PR, but it's going to get merged in anyway. Is that the correct way to do things? I don't know. That's how things are done, I guess.